What is going on, everybody? Red Velvet's here. Oh, I got a pizza stain on my shirt. Oh, well. Anyway, moving on. The end of the year is upon us. We are at, 3-4 days left of school? Whoa. Where'd the year go? It's been wild. It's been chaotic. It's been fast. And parents, you know what I'm talking about. Kids, you will. It went fast, and it gets faster the older you get. I don't understand it. Don't know about it, but anyway. It's been a very busy week in the area across the Dinerverse of sports, high school to youth, a lot of conference championships that were on this week, tournaments, travel ball tournaments, and all that. So, really quick, thank you to everybody that lets us be a part of your team. If you want to be on our team, please reach out. We're on Game Changer. Hit us up. We want to cover your club, your sport, your activity, whatever it is. Reach out to us and we'll see what we can do. We do have stat trackers. Once again, I'm on Game Changer and we are basically everywhere with sports. So if you want to jump on the team, let's go. Let's get going. Real quick, I'm gonna do this first. This is a thank you to the people that make this possible. I want to thank our sponsors, Wabash Valley Plumbing. That's our day one OG sponsor. Much appreciated. Peak Performance Gym, no peak, no results. RJ's Formalwear, they do have sweet suits. They keep me looking fly. And Stitch Brands, they embroider stuff. If you need any embroidery needs, please hit up Stitch Brands. And also, I do want to thank our subscribers. We're slowly getting more subscribers every month. For 99 cents a month, you can support the Diner Podcast. And that would be awesome. You know, that would be really appreciative. 99 cents. If you're interested in that, please reach out and support the Diner Pod. But now that's enough of our, spiel. It's time to get down to business. And we're going to start with some varsity softball. We're going to go to Clay County South. Clay City Eels take on Terre Haute South Braves. The Braves win 8-6. Carly Smith had a day, though. She hit 4 hits, 4 RBIs, a double, and a homer. Faith Mitchell, 2 hits and a ribby. Lizzie Sanders added 2 hits. And then on the mound, Lizzie Sanders, excuse me, I am terrible. I've been butchering that name for the last couple of weeks. Lizzie Sanders had 5 strikeouts. Then the Eels took on the Miners of Linton Stockton. The Eels win 6-1. Carly Smith, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Caroline Rexroad added a double of her own. And Lizzie Sanders, 11 strikeouts. Then we have Clay City. They took on the Owen Valley Patriots. Clay City was busy last week, really busy. Eels win 5-2. Ellie Stolting, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a home run. Carly Smith and Faith Mitchell each had 2 hits, a ribby, and a home run. And Lizzie Sanders and Caroline Rexroad with 2 hits each. And Lizzie Sanders keeping that hot streak going, 15 strikeouts. And it must have been a doubleheader because they played Owen Valley again on Saturday. The Eels win 15-4. Ellie Stolting had 4 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. Carly Smith had 3 hits, a ribby, and 2 doubles. Faith Mitchell had 2 hits, 2 ribeyes. Man, you can tell I'm getting hungry. 2 RBIs and a homer. Charlie Walters with 2 hits and a ribby. Ashley Harrison, Adelie Thompson each had doubles. And Abigail Shearer went yard with a homer. Bree Rexroad and Charlie Walters had 2 strikeouts apiece. Now we move to the north of the Eel River. The North Unites. I had something on my shoes, on my shorts. I don't know what it is. Anyway, North Unites took on the South Putnam Eagles. I accidentally ended up at that game trying to find the North Clay game. I thought it was at the old school Forest Park softball diamond. No. I was like, maybe it's at Staunton. No. And I go, well, we're going to try Northview and see. Maybe they play there. No. But I did catch a varsity game with my daughter and got to watch this game right at the tail end. The Knights took on the Eagles. The Eagles do edge them out 3-0. Chloe Batchelor had 2 hits and a double. Maggie Krause had 2 strikeouts on the mound. Then we moved to Saturday. I think this was Saturday. I don't have the date on my calendar. Knights took on the South Knox, whatever they are. Knights win 10-1. Maggie Krause had 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and 2 triples. That's a big day. Excuse me. Jalen Thompson added 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a triple. And Mackie Pale, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a homer. And then Maggie Krause added 15 strikeouts on the mound. Knights went 1-1 this week. They're 10-9 overall. The Eels went 3-1 on the week and 13-5 overall. Now it's time for some baseball action. Mind you, I'm not going to get the bucked up yet. Got to make a video for that. But if you want bucked up, go to the TikTok shop and you can find it. Clay City Eels took on Terre Haute South Braves. The Braves do win 7-6. Trey Dayhoff, 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and a double. Wyatt Johnson added a double. Trey Dayhoff had 5 strikeouts. North Knox took on Clay City, and the Warriors went home very sad because the Eels win 10-1. Mason Sheets, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Reed Sawyer had 2 hits, an RBI, and a triple. Trey Dayhoff and Zane Keller each had 2 hits and a ribby, and Luke Laswell with 2 hits. Logan Stolting, 7 strikeouts. The Eels go 1-1 on the week, and they're 7-7 overall. Linton wins big against WRV. The Miners score 17 runs to the Wolverines 1. Casey Goodman and Gage Sullivan, 2 hits and 3 RBIs apiece. Cameron Reed and Owen Smith, 2 hits, a ribby, and a double. And Alex Lee added a double of his own. Gage Sullivan, 9 strikeouts on the mound. The Miners are 1-0 on the week and 6-10 overall. And then Northview takes on South Putnam, and the Knights win 4-0. Quinn Lewis led the way with 2 hits. Braden Krieger had 6 strikeouts. Knights were undefeated this week, according to Game Changer. 1-0. They're 8-10 overall. Now we get to the track and field. It was WIC Tuesday and Thursday for the boys and the girls. And for the first time since 2001, the boys and girls are WIC champs. There were several records broken at the boys meet. We'll get there. Well, I'm just going to do it now. Colton Bath broke the record on the 100 meter, on the 200 meter. And then that historic 4x100 boys team broke it again. I believe this was the 3rd time they broke that record. The girls 4x1 team broke their record. I don't know when because I just saw it today. So it was either this week or last week or the week before. But congratulations to all the record breakers. And also, they didn't send anything but, proud parent, Mr. Chris Hayes sent the 4x4 team of North Clay for the boys, broke their own record for the 3rd time this year. Congratulations to those boys. You'll see a post up probably tomorrow because I'm running behind. But here's your WIC champions for Northview. Tanner Hayes for the long jump. Slade fell on the disc. Slade fell again on the shot put. Let me tell you a story about Slade fell. Slade Phil came in, couldn't stand the box or the circle, whatever you want to call it. It's the circle. He couldn't stand the circle going 3. He had his first 3 attempts, scratches. My son, Kai Moore, led the way the entire way. First place all the way around. I'm like, dude, this guy's going to win. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Slade said, not today, Kai. I'm sorry you're a senior, but it's my time now. Hawks a freaking, I did say that, 50-foot yard shot put. So Slade Fell is now 2nd in school history all-time shot put behind Neil Venatti, who has the distance of 52 feet 7 inches. Slade Fell is coming for that record, baby. But congratulations, Slade. I was just busting your chops a little bit for beating Kai. Anyway, the Northview girls 4x800 team, conference champs. The 100 and 110 hurdles, Preston Heiliger and Carson Buck. 100-meter dash was Hallie Vitz. Yeah, just Hallie. Colton Bath breaks a school record and still doesn't win. How fast is that Zane Catlin kid? Very fast. Hopefully Sullivan's football team doesn't figure that out. The 4x100 boys and girls for Northview are the champs. 300-meter hurdles, Preston Heiliger and Carson Buck are your champions. The 200-meter dash, Hallie Vitz. And that is your WIC. Sectionals for the girls, I believe, are Tuesday. And then Thursday for the boys. I know the boys are north because I have a son. Girls, good luck. Boys, good luck. Let's go. Bring home a sectional title. Now we got a little golf. And I'm terrible at golf. I'm just going to let you know that now. So sometimes I get confused because the low score is the winner, and it drives me insane. But we have Knights taking on Terre Haute North. The Patriots win 162-181. Lincoln Pierce led the way with a 40 score 40. I don't know what I'm about to say, a 40-yard dash, but he's had a score 40. Aiden Green at 44. Braden Goff 49. Parker Lutz 48. And Jared Shepard with 55. Then the Knights took on Clay City, and the Knights win in a very close match. I about said race. Match for the Battle of Clay County. The Knights win 151 to 159. Lincoln Pierce 33. Aiden Green shot a 37. Braden Goff 40. Parker Lutz 41. And Jared Shepard with a 55. And then we get to the conference golf match. Northview placed third. Congratulations. Aiden Green led the way, 81. Lincoln Pierce with an 84. Parker Lutz with a 91. And Fisher Dickinson with a 93. Saturday, we had at Clay County Softball League, we had the tournament. I unfortunately missed every game except for the transition, which is the 10U championship game. I might have been the bad luck guy on that. But for the 8U, Ducks Unlimited defeats More Reliable Home Improvement. 10U, Canoes Excavating defeats Carbon Heating and Air. And that's the most emotional I've ever been in a youth softball game. I was positive, but it was a tough game. It was very competitive. Canoes wins 2-1. Canoes, I heard, beat the teams pretty soundly all the way through, and the Carbon Heating and Air held them 2-1. Congratulations, Canoes, for winning the championship. I am proud of all the girls in the entire softball league for working hard and getting better. Please come back in the fall and get better. Keep playing, keep having fun. The 14U Hudson Wood Town Park Senior Living defeated A+ Printing. Now we get to the travel ball side of things, I believe. Yes, we have the Chaos, who just ranked up to AAA. Congratulations, by the way. They travel to Grand Park at the USSSA Rocks. I'm called Invitation. So I'm going to call it. They took on the ESP Black right off the bat. The ESP wins 8-4. Liam Fabre had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Reed Robinson, 2 hits, a ribby and a double. Wyatt Tabler had 2 hits and an RBI. Reed Robinson, 4 strikeouts on the mound. Then the Chaos took on the Indiana. Primetime do win 13-4. Reed Robinson led the way, had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Parker Hazlitt had 2 hits and a double. And Jack Dearth with 2 hits. Parker Hazlitt and Cruz Shepard each had a strikeout on the mound. Then the Chaos take on the Smithville Scrappers. Scrappers do edge them out 7-6. I bet that was a ball game. I'd love to hear more about it. Wyatt Tabler had 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Reed Robinson had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. And Ethan Beasley, 2 hits, an RBI, and a double. On the pitching side, Fabre, Shepard, and Gannon Sturley, 1 strikeout each. Now we move to, let's go to Terre Haute. We're going to North Terre Haute Strive. 3-6-5. The Strive team took on Rhino Amico. Never heard of that name. That was a hard one. Thought it was a gas station at first. Strive wins 2-10. Brock Phillips had a hit, 2 hits and a ribby, and Griff Thompson with a double. Jude Glassburn had 3 strikeouts on the mound. Now I'm going to butcher this pretty bad. Strive took on Mahomet Diamond Dogs. The Dogs win 10-3. Cooper Shepard had 2 hits and a ribby, and Mac Miller added a double. Nolan Ritchie had 2 strikeouts. Then Strive took on Gamers Baseball. Strive wins barely, but a W is a W. 3-2. Mac Miller had 2 hits and a double. Luke Hull had 2 hits. And then on the mound, Jude Glassburn had 4 strikeouts. Then Strive took on TBD. I'm assuming that opponent doesn't have Game Changer, so they're just going to be called TBD. Strive does win 6-3. Ethan Okovich had 3 hits, an RBI, and a double. Luke Hull had 3 hits and a ribby. And then Cooper Shepard had 3 strikeouts. Oh, we got some rec. Thank you. We have Team Keith. This is for the CYL. I'm glad the rec teams are starting to get on Game Changer. It's fun. It gives the kids something to see. So here we go. We got Keith taking on Sawyer. Keith does win 2-1. Case and Keith, 2 hits and a triple, and Garrett Tabler with a double. And then Colin had 3 strikeouts. Then Keith took on Harden, and Tony Harden said he tied, but you didn't, pal. You lost 8-6 to Keith. Just kidding. Love you, Tony. Keep going. Rhett Blair had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Garrett Tabler had 2 hits. Case and Keith and Garrett Tabler, 3 strikeouts apiece. Oh, no. Got to zoom out. We move on to the Warriors. 8U travel softball. Now on the Warriors, they took on the Steelers yesterday at a scrimmage. The Steelers do edge out the Warriors 23-22. Some stats. Hadley Pearson, who got to play softball on her birthday. Congratulations. Hadley Pearson led the way, 5 hits and 4 RBIs. Nora Thiemann, Lily Lumsden, Luna Siddons, 5 hits and 2 RBIs. Addie Peters had 4 hits and 2 RBIs. Raylan Wallace with 4 hits, and Olivia Goda added a double. Then we have the 9U. 9U Knights go up to Mooresville to play in the Battle for the Axe. I want to see that trophy. So if anybody has a picture of that trophy, please send it to me because I would like to see that. The Knights start off against the Mount Vernon Marauders. The Marauders win 3-2. Colin Hill had a hit and a double, and Copeland Coley had 3 strikeouts. Then the Knights move on to the Rosemore Renegades. The Knights win big time, 14-3. Colton Coley had 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and a double. Drake Pettiford had 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Rhett Blair with 2 hits. Rhett Blair with 4 strikeouts. Max Harden with 3. The Knights then take on DC Prime. Prime wins 3-0. Colton Coley had a hit and a double. Dawson Mason with 6 strikeouts, and Emerson Sinclair with 3. Let's see. Moving on. The 8U Knights, they play in a 1-game tournament, the Greenfield Ballpark Showcase Showdown. That's a mouthful to say, but they played 4 games in 1 day, so they were tested with stamina and plus the competition. Knights took on Allisonville. This was not much of a competition. The Knights win 19-4. Hudson Walker had 4 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 doubles. Griffin Medeiros, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a double. Drew Shoemaker with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. River Compton, 3 hits, a ribby, and a triple. Maddox Abrams, Rogue Nodley, 3 hits and a ribby. And then Jax Cowden. I can't read. Plus my TV's way over there, so I'm trying to read from a distance. Anyway, and I got old eyes. Kids, eat your vegetables so your eyes don't go bad. Jax Cowden had 3 hits and a double. The Knights then take on the Greenfield Bombers. The Bombers win just barely, 18-17. Jax Cowden led the way this time, 4 hits and 4 RBIs and a triple. Drew Shoemaker had 4 hits and 3 RBIs. Maddox Abrams and Claire Harrison, 4 hits and a ribby. Rogue Nodley and Hudson Walker, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Caleb Gaines and Griffin Medeiros, 3 hits and a ribby. Houston Dyer had a double, and River Compton with a triple. Then the Knights take on Oaklandon. That's a new name. Never heard that. Bombers. The Bombers win barely, 19-18. Houston Dyer leads the way, 4 hits, 4 RBIs, and a double. Caleb Gaines has 4 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a triple. That's a game. Good job, young man. Rogue Nodley had 4 hits and a ribby. Maddox Abrams, 3 hits and 4 RBIs. Jax Cowden had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Griffin Medeiros, he did pretty good on this game too. 3 hits, 2 RBIs, a double, and a triple. And River Compton added 3 hits. Then the Knights took on the Greenfield Bombers again. The Bombers do win 12-2. River Compton and Jax Cowden had a hit and a ribby. Houston Dyer and Maddox Abrams added a double. I got to zoom out again. Oh, boy. All right, we got North Clay softball action. They entered a tournament, and I tried going to that tournament, like I said, at the varsity section. I didn't know they played in Terre Haute. That's on me. So I was going to be there, girls, in spirit. I guess I was there in spirit. I was going to be there physically, but I was there in spirit. North Clay JV took on Otter Creek. The Knights win 17-6. Marley Lane had 3 hits, 3 RBIs, a double, and a triple. Avery Hoskins had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Kylie Mitchell, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. Sydney McNeely, 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Adeline Bedwell, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and she went yard with a home run. Maddie LeMay, 2 hits and a double, and Avery Hoskins on the mound, 7 strikeouts. Then North Clay advanced. They faced Linton. Linton does win 7-0. On the batting side of things, Laney Hughes and Avery Hoskins had a hit each, and Avery Hoskins had 6 strikeouts. The Knights JV in the season 5-4 overall. Now we move to North Clay, number 1 varsity. North Clay took on Otter Creek. The Knights win 13-0. Amelia Stidman, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Braylon Norton, 2 hits and a ribby. And then Tinley Sereno had 3 strikeouts. And then the Knights moved on and faced Sullivan Golden Arrows. The Arrows win 9-6. Jillian Abusir, 2 hits and a ribby. Elena Abusir, 2 hits and 2 doubles. Levin Gotzi with a double. Madeline Pridemore with a double. And Levin Gotzi had 8 strikeouts on the mound. the North Clay varsity end the season 5-5. Then NCMS versus Honey Creek in the tournament. Honey Creek 15-0. Leela Hendricks and Carly McCoy each got a hit. Mallory Russell with a strikeout, and the Knights in their season 4-6. Woo! I'm there's a lot to read, but you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad there's a lot to read. That means the kids are working hard, and that's why I want to cover more teams. So please reach out. The Knights 10U go up to Greenwood. I about said Grandwood. Greenwood Sports Park, and they do work up there. They're playing 4 games. The Knights took on the Indiana Braves. The Knights shut them out 16-0. Wyatt Hayes, 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and a double. AJ Johnson, 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Lucas Harrison, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. And Hudson Madsen, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Dalton DeWigged, 2 hits and a ribby. Easton Herbert, 2 hits, an RBI, and a double. And Lucas Harrison with 6 strikeouts. Then the Knights took on the Indiana Gold. The Gold do win 7-6. Garrett Tabler had 2 hits and 2 ribbies. Lucas Harrison, 2 hits and a triple. And River Trussler with 2 hits. Hudson Madsen had 4 strikeouts on the mound. Then the Knights, I got to zoom in. My eyes hurt. Didn't eat enough carrots. Knights take on the Braves. Knights win 18-6 this time. Easton Herbert led the way, 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Dalton DeWitt, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a triple. Garrett Tabler had 2 hits and a double. AJ Johnson and Hudson Madsen had doubles each, and Garrett Tabler 3 strikeouts. This team they face next got me. I've never heard of this name. The Knights take on the Indiana Arabians. Yep. The Arabians win 5-4. Never mind. I was going to quote Aladdin, but I'm moving on. AJ Johnson leads the way, 2 hits and an RBI and 2 doubles. Bowen Webster, 2 hits and RBI. Jackson Pestoff with a double, and Lucas Harrison had 4 strikeouts. The Knights go 2-2 on the week, and I received this note, and I want to pass it along. Bowen Webster stepped away from competitive baseball until this weekend. He stepped up and did a fantastic job and played like he never missed a beat. So congratulations, Bowen. Sometimes you got to take the break. You know, you get burnt out. You grind hard. So props on knowing you had to take a break, and props for coming back and continuing where you left off. I'm proud of you. Ooh. And now brings us to my favorite part of the show. And this week's Red Velvet Power performers are Maggie Krause. I think she's been a power performer every week, so keep going. Carly Smith from Clay City. Trey Dayhoff of Clay City. Gage Sullivan of Linton. Hallie Vitz for the Sprinters. Tanner Hayes for long jump. The girls 4x1 team. Slade Fell for the shot put and discus. Reed Robinson for the Chaos. Levin Gothi for North Clay. Marley Lane for North Clay. Lincoln Pierce for Northview. Colton Coley for the Knights 9U. Hadley Pearson for the Warriors. Griffin Medeiros for the Knights 8U. AJ Johnson for the Knights 10U. Garrett Tabler for the CYL. So congratulations to the power performers. I'm proud of you. I don't just pick names because I like them. You earned it. So keep going. Keep pushing. And that does it for the Chowdown this week. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our subscribers. We'll see you next week.